Otherwise I'll forget. Let me just bring up, I'm looking for Zoom schedule. And then I'll send you another one for, it doesn't really matter what the time is. But I'll send you another link so we can finish this one. I'll press stop recording and then we can go straight into that one.
Yeah.
And then at some point over the next few days, I'll get my button gear and I might actually have to pay for my own. Ugh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. We want it in WhatsApp, if I remember. But that's that done. So, second question, I guess. What do you remember about IFR?
Whew. Not much.
That's fair. It was quite a while ago.
It's when you fly primarily using your instruments and land primarily using your instruments,
Yeah.
I guess.
No, yeah, but most definitely.
And you don't use your eyes like through the window as much.
No.
Uh,
So yeah,
yeah.
IFR is when I say you summarised it quite well. When you can't see out the window anymore, it just becomes it just looks like nothing. It's just a cloud.
Yeah.
So I was flying with a guy today to Western only because I forgot to put myself as not available, and I realised yesterday, I think it was, or the day before, that I hadn't cancelled myself. So I figured I had to go in,
Yeah.
and it was the first time he'd ever flown in the clouds, and he didn't do too good at that. So, which is why you need the training before you fly in clouds, and you need to have the knowledge. Just like a black cab driver has the knowledge of London, you need to have the knowledge of
Skies.
the sky. Yeah. So unlike London, there are roads. They're called airways, but yeah. Right. Throw that out of the way and put this up on your screen. So, it's a fairly short and sweet question.
Yep.
What is an IFR track? So, what this exciting picture I know has missed out is the runways. So, can you draw on your screen, which will appear on here as well, where you think the runways will be in this picture? Give you a clue. There's more than one.
Yeah, just give me one. Annotate. Right. I'm going to assume using my infinite intellect.
Infinite intellect. Does that mean
That's
intellect never? Oh, if it's infinite, does that mean it never begins and it never ends?
oh no, it's always began and it never ends. So it's like it began once and it's never gonna end.
Okay. When did it begin?
Uh, infinitely ago.
So that means it never started.
No, it has started just infinitely. Oh, sugar. A long time ago.
Oh, cool.
And it'll never end either.
No, well, as long as it never ends, that's fine.
Yeah, I'm
Give you a
guessing.
clue. There's actually 3 runways in this picture.
Oh, three.
Good. Yeah. So what is this drawing? Sorry, what is this drawing? If I can find,
Is it an IFR track?
it is an IFR track, and the stupid thing.
Who would have guessed?
Yeah, I'm definitely going to have to buy Zoom because there we go. Now I've got to put my pointer back, but the thing that annoyed me the most is the pointer has moved. Whereas the full version is just a button on the screen. So we're taking off from this one.
Yeah.
You go up. You climb, and then which is part 1. Part 2 is the cruise, which is the easiest part. There is almost nothing to do during the cruise. Just look out the window, metaphorically, and enjoy the view.
How fun.
Oh, fun, yeah. You also got to avoid weather during this stage, but that's a future problem. And then the descent. The descent is when things start to get busy because what happens after the descent?
Mm. You have to join a circuit, something like that,
Yeah,
maybe.
kind of. Well, so in IFR we don't have a circuit. We have
Like you have to like join a line of people waiting to land, maybe.
yeah,
Or like,
kind of. So here is he says here's something I prepared earlier. Here are two little diagrams. I've just sent them on WhatsApp. Actually, I can bring them up on the screen as well. That'd be clever, wouldn't it?
hmm,
Duh.
yeah.
Right, ignore everything you're about to see because it doesn't exist. So here's a little track, as you called it. Just 2 seconds, I get a tissue. Oh, delightfully unpleasant. Please don't make sure I hasn't woken up my son. So on here, what is this?
That is a airport chart.
It is an airport.
I remember seeing it before. I don't remember much about it.
Yeah, that's fair. So this tells us how we get to final. So what's in this picture? Where the mouse is now, that's where the runway is,
Hmm.
and this is called a feather, and the feather is going to kind of channel you in towards the runway.
Yeah.
So if we had a look at Flight Radar 24, which we can do now, we'll probably see most of the airliners that are landing now will follow this exact line that goes overhead the island.
Right.
I was talking to a friend who was flying to Belfast last time I went on Flight Radar.
Hmm.
It was when the storm was here 2 days ago.
Oh yeah.
And
Heard
everyone was like,
about
oh, yeah, I'll get in, no worries. Yeah,
that.
sure you will. Sure enough, he didn't. So this EasyJet it's departed from from Gatwick. It's going to Jersey.
Mhm.
And it's currently flying to the edge of the island. So it's aiming to about here-ish, you agree?
Yep.
And if we jump back over to this page, that's about here on this diagram. If the island is the black part and the water is the blue bit.
Hmm.
So would you say that's about what? Half of the width of the island again? So it's the island plus a half?
Yeah.
And just to make sure that I'm not talking rubbish. Where my mouse is now, it's about an island and a half.
Yep.
Yeah, so he's aiming there. What will happen next is when he gets to just short of the feather, he'll make a 45-degree turn to the right to intercept this feather or this line. And then he'll follow the line across the ground like this, but he'll also follow this part, which is the vertical part.
Right.
So when he's 5 miles from the runway, it'll be about 1,910 feet.
Yeah.
So about. And at
Yeah.
4 miles, how high will they be?
Uh, Pretty high.
So if you're just above where my mouse is,
It was, oh right. Okay. 15,090 feet. 1,590
yeah,
feet.
good. At 3 miles,
1,270 feet.
good. And at 1 mile,
640 feet.
Good. So at Jersey, that's the profile. Well, that's what it's called. If it's a vertical, it's called profile. If it's from above, it's called, I don't know what the right word is for from above, but it doesn't matter. And down here is the altitude that they're allowed to go down to without seeing the runway. So how high can they go?
Uh, 472 feet.
Yeah. What do you reckon they need to do if they can't see the runway or the lights?
Give up. Go around.
Give up and go around. Yeah. Good. So if I jump back to this one. Unfortunately, your runways have disappeared, but I will draw them on. Yeah. There we are.
Can't see the PowerPoint, by the way.
Oh, right. Can you see what? Yeah. Is that better?
Yes.
Okay, good. Okay, so I'll do my excellent drawings again. 1, 2, 3. Good. So they've taken off from Gatwick. They've climbed. They've run up to 26,000. It doesn't matter how high they went, but they went to an altitude. They flew along, and then they started their descent. This is the beginning of the approach. This is the beginning of the descent of the approach, and they descend. They say, if they can't see the ground, we're going to go back up.
Yeah.
If we jump back to this one, where at Jersey would you think a good airport would be? I'll give you a clue. Airports are this blue. Yeah, you can see the right thing. This blue dot thing here.
Yeah.
So where would another airport be nearby? What can you see one?
Guernsey and Brehel.
Yes, good. So around Jersey. There's a few different options.
Yeah.
So exactly as we said, he's made a 45-degree turn towards the runway.
Yep. Indeed, he has.
Indeed. Where is it? I wonder where this one's going.
Not available.
Yeah. So it's a massive private jet. You can get about 20 people on board that private jet.
How come? Like, where did the flight radar get their info from? Like, I know they can see the plane's flight radar on that and their transponders or something.
Yeah.
But then, how do they know where it's going to go?
Because they have access to. There's a computer in Europe called Eurocontrol, and Eurocontrol has every single flight plan in Europe. America got their own system, and Flight Radar's got access to that system, so they can match the flight number to the flight plan, so they know where it's going.
So how come some planes don't have flight plans
They
like that one?
So this geezer, so you can pay to have your registration removed from Flight Radar. So this doesn't have a registration because it's been removed from Flight Radar. So whoever owns this really doesn't want people to know where they're going.
I probably think they're very important.
Yeah, probably.
Not really, though.
Here we are. So this EasyJet geezer has a 45-degree turn, lined up for the runway, and we can see it's currently 1,500 feet. It's not up to date, but he's descending. So if he's 1,450 feet, how many miles out do you think he is roughly?
How many feet? For
1,450.
About in between, 3.5 maybe.
Yeah, about 3.5, somewhere between 3 and 4.
Yeah.
Good. And they'll keep descending, and they're in line with the runways. So if I zoom in a bit more, we can see here. Move the pictures out of the way. This is the runway, and they're perfectly aligned with it now.
Yeah.
While we do
Going to fly over the Jersey war tunnels.
They are, yeah. I've been there with an aircraft flying over, and it's very loud.
No, is it? I don't even know what it is.
It's just so when the Germans decided to go on holiday across Europe in 19 what 19 early late 1930s, they invaded Jersey and Guernsey, but they didn't actually touch the mainland of the UK, and they built loads of underground hospitals,
Right,
and that's one of them. But they built it in a valley, and the only way that you can see it is if you're straight over it.
right.
So it's really loud because when the aircraft comes over, you hear nothing, 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 whoop, poof, and then nothing again.
Yeah,
It's quite
right.
a little bit scary.
Yeah.
Good. So we'll finish watching EasyJet. So if the EasyJet decides that it's not safe to land, or it can't see the runway or the lights or something, it will perform a missed approach.
Right.
So somewhere on here, not where the mouse is, it will say missed approach and then two dots, and then it will tell them what they need to do.
Isn't that the whole point of like what ILS is for though, if you can't see the runway?
So the ILS is to guide you to the beginning of the runway, but if you can't see the beginning of the runway, then you need a plan of, okay, what do I do if? Yeah.
Right.
The other option could be that maybe a car's driven onto the runway and the tower says go around.
Yeah.
Could be that the pilots don't think the aircraft's ready to land, and they go around.
Well, like what would not ready to land mean?
They might have forgotten to put the landing gear down, or they might have not done the checklists in time.
Right.
Yes, I've gone around in real life what, 3 times. Once for weather, and twice because the pilot I was flying with just hadn't done what they were supposed to do.
Fun.
Yep. So, what do they need to do if they can't land?
Either go around or go to a different place.
Yeah. So, what they're going to do is they're going to go up, but
Oh,
then
yeah, so you're gonna go up and then like go in a circle, but like a boxy circle kind of, I think.
I know. So, if you look,
I don't know.
if you look close to the top, hang on, let's make sure you're looking at the same thing I am. Yeah, good.
Yeah.
If you look to the top of what I've got on the screen now, it says
Yeah.
approach or Mr. APC H.
Wow, the heck do I do zoom in on this program? Oh, got it. Okay, missed approach with com failure.
Yeah. So
Oh
if you
no,
go to the
okay,
one
yeah.
above it,
Yeah. So climb straight ahead, 3,000 feet, turn left on heading 180 degrees, and then as directed.
good. So if they can't land for any reason, they're going to go up straight ahead, and then when they get to 3,000 feet, they're going to turn left and heading south.
What if?
Yeah.
Right, okay, yeah, I got you.
It sounds like you had a question. What if?
Yeah, no, I just realized because I was going to say, what if they're coming from the other side of the runway, but then I realized that's not an option because on the graph there's only one way in. So
So there's.
yeah,
So you can come from the south, you can come from the north, you can come from any direction.
uh-huh.
At Jersey, for this example, they'll they'll redirect you. So they'll say turn left, turn right, go up, go down, do this, do that.
Yeah,
Sorry, I can hear someone outside, but there's someone moving the bins. So they'll tell you, they'll guide you to get to the beginning of this approach,
yeah,
and then they'll do that 45-degree turn, just like EasyJet did, and then you'll fly yourself down that line to the runway.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good. So if we, for some reason, we can't land and we need to go around, we'll go up straight ahead. When we get to 3,000 feet, we'll turn left heading south. Then we need to make a plan.
Yeah.
So there's EasyJet successfully landed. So
Yippee.
going straight ahead, and then we turn left heading south. But we want to go to Guernsey.
Yeah.
We need to basically tell air traffic control where we're going. So tell, okay, we're going to Guernsey, and then they'll point us in the right direction, and they'll do the same thing again. So turn us heading north, and 45 degrees just before we insert that feather, because they've got the same thing. Then we'll land.
Right. Yep. Whew.
I agree.
Yeah.
So each flight has these bits of it. You need to start the engine, just like a
Yep.
VFR flight. Taxi. The taxi diagrams look a little bit different
Ah, sugar. I need to
Right.
zoom out.
in the IFR world.
Yep.
Let me send you the picture now. Have you ever been to Northern Ireland before?
Don't think so.
Okay, because I'm going there.
Should I have?
No. I'm going there. I go there
I'm
quite
just.
a lot with work at the moment, and it's
All right.
I quite like it. I never thought I would,
Mm,
but and they were
lots
talking.
of
Fun.
Northern Ireland Irish people don't like. No, sorry. Lots of normal Irish people don't like Northern Ireland.
Yeah, but luckily, well, I don't think you're Irish.
No, no.
No,
What's the capital of Republic of Ireland?
what, the Northern Ireland or the
The
island?
Republic one, the island.
Dublin,
And then what about Northern Ireland?
Belfast.
Okay, yeah, no, I went to Republic of Ireland. I went to one of them,
Okay,
so I think my teacher is either Irish or Northern Irish. Sorry about that.
do they talk a bit
Either.
funny? They go, "Arr, arr, arr,
Uh,
arr."
yeah, yeah,
Yeah. For Northern Ireland. Yeah,
yeah. Basically,
yeah.
film is the most used word. She always calls a film a film.
A film. I, I've really struggled with their accent still, but so this is Northern Ireland. This is Belfast. So this is Belfast's. Belfast has two airports. This is the bigger one. This is called Belfast International or Aldergrove. I don't know why it's got two names, but that's what they do apparently.
Yeah.
And this one is quite big, so it's got quite a lot of taxiways. So let's say that me and you went there in a PA28. A, it would take quite a while, but B, it's quite complicated to get around. So we would park on the general aviation ramp, so up here,
Yep.
he says. Like, can you see the right thing? Yeah, good.
Yeah.
And let's say that we're using runway 07. How can you get? What route would you expect them to tell you to get to runway 07?
Oh, let me zoom in. Oh no, it's because I'm in drawing mode.
No.
There we go. Okay.
But if you can do it,
Uh,
if you can do it in a Northern Irish accent, it'd be better.
oh God, I don't know if I can do a Northern Irish one. I can't. I haven't heard them. Okay.
Arr, arr,
Exit.
arr.
e- Exit. I don't know if that's Irish, but I'm gonna do exit via Bravo. I think that's Scottish. I don't know. And then follow. Is it? Wait. So you land on 07. So you.
Yeah, sorry. So let's say that we're at the
So.
general aviation apron, so we're here,
Oh, right.
and we're trying to
Sorry.
get to runway 07.
Okay, I thought we landed on. Okay.
I know.
So you okay, you get off apron alpha and you
No, you,
follow alpha 3 and then you get on yeah, then you continue through alpha 3 and you go to okay, I'm gonna say through this through a normal voice because I'm
oh.
confusing myself. Sorry. Right, okay. So you go through alpha 3,
Yep,
keep going, cross Charlie 1,
yep.
holding point Charlie 1, and then go to Delta 1, and then you get
Yeah,
on.
perfect. So
Right.
along that way, you can. you've gone through an area that says HS1. It's not high speed train. It's called a hotspot.
HS. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so it's in magenta or
Yep.
purple, whatever. Um, and it says HS1. And then if you go across like to the middle right of the page, it says hotspot.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And then it says HS1. And then it says some stuff. So what is it trying to warn you about?
That there is a longer distance between the hold and the runway than elsewhere due to a protection of an instrument landing system general practitioner critical area. There's explicit runway enter slash cross clearance is required beyond Delta 2.
Good. Yep. So it's trying to tell you just be careful because the holding point's a long way from the runway.
Yep.
And let's say that we're now going to take off on runway 07. We're going to go through HS2, which is not the train track, but it's another hotspot.
Yep.
What's it trying to tell us about HS2?
That the runway intersection is not illuminated and you must be extremely cautionate when issued with a restrictive taxi clearance. That's a bit dangerous, isn't it?
It
There's no
is.
lights
Yeah.
that indicate.
So that's why they warn you. And they say, hey, something weird here.
Yeah.
Just be careful because, it might not be like you were expecting.
That's just an emergency. That's just an accident waiting to happen,
It is.
if you ask me.
I agree. Yeah.
Can't always trust the traffic controllers.
Nope. Which is why, luckily, there are some pilots on board. But
Yeah, well, can't always trust those either.
no, I wouldn't trust them all the time either. No, good. So, yeah, larger airports, they can be quite complicated. If I quickly bring up the Cranfield one, and then we'll compare how a complicated one looks to a fairly simple one.
Actually, I do have a question.
Yep.
You know how I know I'm comparing two very different planes here, but
That's
you know
fine.
on the PA-28, when you're
Yep.
doing your power checks, you have to like face the wind, right?
Yep.
To do all the engine stuff, check the brakes and all that stuff and the T's and P's and all that. For the power checks. How come if you're like in a bigger plane, like a commercial one, like an A320 or something, then you can just do it when you're or do they even do power checks?
No, they don't do any power
No,
check.
okay. How comes?
So
Is
a piston engine, which is what PA28
uh-huh.
is compared to a jet engine, extremely unreliable.
What about like a prop like I don't know any the names of any planes, but like what about a big plane that uses
Of, of the
piston
plane,
engines,
of
if
the
there
plane I
is
fly,
any?
it has a jet engine, but it has a
Yeah.
propeller attached to it.
All right. Okay.
So we don't need to do it because we got a jet engine. But if a larger aircraft with if a larger aircraft had a piston engine, then they'd have to do the same thing as well. So they'd have to do the power checks.
Interesting. Okay then.
But no, it's interesting
Yeah, yeah.
because you might notice when you're in the bigger aircraft, like next time you're on EasyJet or Wizz or whoever, that the controls will move on the ground whilst you taxi.
Yeah.
And that's because one pilot's doing that and the other pilot's not. So one pilot's taxiing the aircraft, the other pilot's doing the checks.
Yeah.
Whereas in a PA28, it's a single pilot aircraft, so you'll be licensed to fly it all by yourself. I'm sure there's a song in there somewhere. No. So you're trained how to do it all yourself and always by yourself.
Yeah.
Whereas on the larger planes, you would never fly them by yourself unless your colleague dies, but then you're only going to fly it to land. You're not going to go off and do circuits or you're going to go and take off.
So would it be like illegal to fly like an A320 by yourself? Like against some sort of rule?
Yeah.
Or is it just a recommendation?
No, so if the aircraft is over 5.7 tons, then
Right.
it has to be specifically designed for one pilot to fly it. So the aircraft I fly is over 5.7 tons, just like by this much. But it has been designed so one person can fly it.
Right. Yeah.
Whereas the larger aircraft like A320s and A380s and Boeings and Airbus and whatnot, they have not been designed for one pilot, so they can't operate with one pilot.
Right. Yeah.
So it
That makes
depends.
sense.
If the cockpit's laid out so one person can do all of it, then it
Hmm.
could be operated by one person. But the larger aircraft aren't designed to do that because they're just too big and got too many buttons and too many systems. And whereas every button in the aircraft I fly, I could reach from my side,
Right.
and all the important buttons are close to me, and they're not close to my colleague.
Yeah.
No, so no, it's a shame to be them. So this is a
Sucks
complicated
to
airport.
suck.
Exactly, yeah, not my problem. Uh, right. This is a more simple airport and an airport that you might be familiar with.
Way too zoomed in. Um. Oh, it's EGTC.
Yeah, crammed it. Yeah,
Crammed it. Yep.
crammed it. No. Um, so here we have just one taxiway that goes from apron 2, it goes via Alpha all the way to Alpha 1.
Yep.
And when you land, there's only one way back in.
Same way.
Same way, which is it's like having a one-way road, which is really good for traffic going in one direction, but not so good for traffic going in two directions.
Yeah.
No.
Not good. Especially because the taxiway, like Alpha, no, no, Apron 1, it goes a bit funky because there's the taxi line just disappears and then there's planes all around you. And
Yeah.
it's just,
Have you flown from
yeah.
Frankfurt recently?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
How is
About,
it? Is it all still there?
yeah, yeah.
Oh, good. Is my mate Lee still there?
Oh, yes, yes, he's still there, having fun.
Oh, good. I've just seen that I think he's buying another school in Elstree now.
Isn't that fun?
Yeah.
I'm sure he's gonna have a great time.
Yeah. But no one's going to want to work for him, but hey ho, not my problem.
Yeah, that's his problem.
Yeah, he's going to waste all his money. Good. So you've got simple and you've got complicated. Most training airports are relatively simple. The hardest airport that you'll probably go to is one called Gloucester.
Oh yeah,
I'll just send you that chart. He says, desperately trying to.
send the chart.
Yep.
Feeling good. Like a
But to be fair, Gloucester's got a lot easier from back in the D when I did my PPL.
Oh, back in the day.
Back in the day, yeah. Yeah. The reason why I'll show you. He says, trying to press all the right buttons in the wrong order. Here we are. For some reason, that WhatsApp group is still not a short option. I have to go the long way around.
Yeah. Oh, this one's horizontal.
It is, yeah, because it's very wide. So back in the D, there used to be a taxiway that went round to the north. Used to join
Is
up
it
here, and then carry on down here, and go around here. So it was like a big circle,
all the X's now?
all the X's now. And this used to be a runway.
Right.
So if you
Uh-huh.
landed on runway 27
Yep.
and you vacated left, you'd have to go. You have to cross two runways. So this one, hold here, and cross again, and then you got to work your way through this maze down here.
Hmm.
Because there are many buildings, many places to park, and you had to park in the right spot, otherwise you got told off.
Yeah.
But Gloucester is probably the most complicated training airport there is.
Got a grass taxiway.
It has, yeah.
God knows why. It's just a little. Slither.
Yeah, so that goes to this runway here.
Oh,
And
right.
this is a grass runway that's designed for helicopters.
Oh, okay, that makes sense then.
No, I don't know anyone that's ever landed on it in a proper aeroplane.
Probably why it says hell on it. Or next to it.
How?
Sums it up pretty well.
Yeah. So this is what an airport looks like in the world of IFR.
Yeah.
So if you see these HS1, HS2s, and you go anywhere near them, always try and find out what they are.
Yeah.
Because at some point, like HS1, which is here,
Mm-hmm.
it says it's a complicated junction.
Yep. Indeed it is.
And from experience, it is. Well, Zoom is shouting at me that we've got a minute and a half left before I have to restart. So do I have time to talk about anything else? Okay, yeah, so there are two categories of approach.
Yep.
Category A and category B.
Indeed.
Which one do you think is best? And before you answer, I'll have a quick look at what it is typed underneath where it says type A and type B.
Mm-hmm. Well, best for what? Like approaching or
Which one can get you to go lower?
oh, the B.
Yeah, good. So we've got less than a minute before this Zoom quits. So we'll stop this Zoom and then we'll start the second one, all right?
Okay.
Right, see you in a second, mate.
See ya. Recording in progress.
Recording in progress. I guess it's an equally as loud voice as it is annoying as it is mine.
No, it's American. It's worse.
Well, yeah. Good. So we're talking about different types of approaches. Which one's best? Type B. Okay, good. So I'll do this backward. It might seem backwards, but type B means you can fly down to below 250 feet.
Yep.
And then there's three categories. So you've got Cat 1, Cat 2, and Cat 3. Have you heard
It's like
of
the hurricanes.
Yeah, but these categories don't go up to 5. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's grayed out, but which of the categories is the best when it comes to getting you as low as possible?
Hooray.
3, yeah. So have you ever heard of a Cat 3 ILS?
Yes.
So what does that mean? It means the DH stands for decision height is less than 100 feet, or there is no decision.
What was that again? The decision height?
A decision height, yeah. So
It was.
that means that the aircraft will land itself.
Oh, right. Yeah, that's what I meant. We're like, remember when we were talking about visibility?
Yep.
So like, isn't that the whole point of the category 3? Like, so if you don't see it, it lands for you. Kind
Yeah.
of. Yeah.
Whereas for that, you have to have a special autopilot. The aircraft has to be approved. The pilots have to be approved. The airport has to be approved. The approach has to be approved. Like, there's so many different things that need to be approved in your instrument training and any training that you will ever do in a PA-20 or any light aircraft. It will always be a category 1.
Right.
So the aircraft that I fly, the PC-12, it is approved for category 2, but I'm not trained to do category 2.
Right.
So the aircraft's approved, but I'm not, so we can't do it.
Shame.
It is a shame, but I've only would have needed it once in almost 9 years, and the training cost about £1,000 a year to keep alive.
Yeah, it's not really worth it.
No, so we had one passenger who we spent £9,000 so he could have got into the airport. But I think the company's worked out it's cheaper to pay for that customer's taxi to where they want to go than it is to spend £1,000 a year.
For every single pilot.
Yeah, and there's what 180 something
£180,000 a year.
time. Well, yeah, and I've
God
been
knows
there
how
for,
many years.
let's say 9 years. Times that by 9. Yeah,
What would that be?
a
Quick maths.
lot.
That's 90. That would be 72, 71 actually. 90 plus 71. Hold on, almost done. 30, then 50. I don't know, a lot.
There's a lot. I'll do some quick maths. So
Almost a million,
maybe more than a million.
maybe. I can't do that in my head.
£1.6 million.
Yeah, I tried doing that in my head, but it's
And
a bit much.
workers very cleverly worked out that it's going to cost less for a taxi than £1.6 million.
How clever.
I know they're really good at maths. But
Yeah.
so that's why we're not category 2. But the airlines, because they run a schedule, so they go from like Luton to I don't know, Poland, and then Poland back to Luton, and that schedule is published. And if they're delayed, they might have to pay fees, they might have to pay fines. So they worked out for them it's cheaper to train their pilots to do autolands, which means their schedule stays roughly where it should be.
Right.
Whereas we don't have it. I don't have a schedule. It's cheaper just to put 5 people, say if there's 5 people in the plane, in a taxi to take them to where they want to go, rather than spending £1.6 million.
Yeah.
Yeah. And type A is basically any approach that's not B.
Wow.
Yeah, which is yeah.
Yeah.
So type B is the specific. No, it is an ILS, whereas type A is anything but an ILS.
Yeah.
Good. Come on, brain. So here you might have seen these things on the ground before.
Yes. Oh, shite. Yes, I have.
What do you think they mean?
That's the holding point, isn't it?
Yep. So the top one's a holding point. Bonus points. You can tell me what this is.
Not a holding point.
So this is called an intermediate holding point.
Okay, well,
So
50-50.
You can have half a point. Oops. So
Oh.
yeah, I pressed the wrong button, but I'm going to share another screen in a second. Where have you seen? Because you definitely have seen that intermediate holding point.
Cranfield.
Yeah.
That took a complete blind guess there.
Here is Crandet. Now here's where all of the CFS aircraft park. So I guess sometimes also down here, maybe over here occasionally. We have. Here is Alpha 1.
Yes.
Which apparently is a road. You'll notice that it's got solid bars. It's not a very good picture, and also the dash bars at the back.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah, if you scroll down here. Aha. Here is it looks like a step ladder.
Yeah.
If I go this way, you can see both. So you'll notice that the holding points always go onto a runway.
Yeah.
So runway, runway, runway.
Indeed.
Good. And if we zoom out, and this one does not connect to a runway, so if the weather's really bad, the controller will get you to stop here because for two reasons. A, it gives you more space between you and the runway. So if the person landing has a mishap, probably the best way to describe it, then you're not going to get in any caught up in their problems because you're further away.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whereas in good weather, they can send you closer to the runway because A, the pilots who are landing, they can see better, and B, you can see the pilots who are landing.
Right.
Because that gives you more time to get out of the way. If we scoot on down to the airport, I seem to spend most of my time at the moment just waiting around. Right, so this is a holding point. Slightly better quality. Which side is the runway? Is it over here, or is it north, or is it south?
North.
North, good. So you'll notice A, it says runway ahead, meaning don't go too far unless you get told to.
Yep.
And there is some psychology behind this line. So you're allowed to go north only with a clearance because it's got two solid lines, whereas you're allowed to go south without a clearance because it's got dash lines.
Right.
So, well, I guess it's not that long until you start thinking about driving a car. Are you familiar with the highway code yet?
No.
Good. So if you're overtaking, you can't cross a solid line,
Right.
but you can cross a dash line.
Oh, yeah, no, I know that. Yes, I know that.
Yeah, so it's the same philosophy. So you're allowed to cross this direction, but you're not allowed to cross this direction.
Yeah. Yes, I kind of learned that through common sense.
Which is infinite, isn't it?
Yes, of course.
Yeah, no, good. Right, there was something else at Heathrow that I wanted to show you, but what was that? Ah, here we are.
What was that indeed?
So here is this is sometimes called the Cat 2 holding bar because this is what you hold if the ILS is in category 2.
Right.
There we are. Just a fun fact. That was what I wanted to show you. So I now throw you back on the PowerPoint. I don't like this free version of Zoom. I need to tell Jimmy to start paying for it again.
Yeah.
If we... I'm trying to think what's best to go to next. I'll tell you what, if we go back to here. Do you remember we spoke about minimum safe altitudes?
Yes.
Yeah. Good. What is a minimum safe altitude? If you were to translate it into simple English.
It's the minimum altitude you can fly at safe. Oh, but without hitting something, if that makes sense.
Good. Yeah. No, that is. Yeah. So it's the minimum safe altitude you can fly at without bumping into something hard or the ground.
Yeah.
Good. So this is an ILS, an instrument landing system. This is what we've spoken about before.
Yeah.
So here, so it says an ILS, which means it is. And here, this box here tells you what the minimum safe altitude is around the area. So it says MSA, so minimum safe altitude. Then it says Juliet Sierra Yankee. So
I agree.
the minimum. Thank you. So the minimum safe altitude is based from the Juliet Sierra Yankee. Where is that in the picture below? And what is it?
Uh, ah, Jersey.
Yeah, so
I
it's
don't
a
know.
Jersey VOR.
Yeah,
So that is this thing here.
yeah.
And what this circle shows is that in all sectors around the Jersey VOR, so in all directions, up to 25 nautical miles, if you stay at 1,800 feet at least, you will
Yeah.
not bump into anything that's involved the ground.
How fun.
How fun. Now, there is a different type of these, unfortunately, which looks like this. So you've
How
got these
even more fun.
little semicircles now.
Yeah.
So this is saying that if you are going to Tidmouth,
Yep.
which is this point here,
Mm-hmm.
if you're approaching between 134 degrees, so 130, so 173 degrees and 183 degrees, so very specific, you could go down to 1,800 feet and bump into nothing.
Right.
How about if you're going to this waypoint here, Nenri?
Uh, well, it's a full semicircle. So,
It's a full semicircle,
the,
yeah. So
yeah.
if we were 21 miles to the east of Nenri, how low can we go?
1,700 feet.
Good. Here's another question for you. If we were 27 nautical miles away from Nenri and to the east, how low can we go?
2,000 feet. No, so
I'll give you a clue. No one knows.
oh right, okay, well,
So if we're outside 25 nautical miles, your guess is as good as mine. It's the Wild West. It's uncharted. No one knows what happens out there. So if you're more than 25 nautical miles, yeah, then good luck.
yeah,
So when you're flying IFR, you have to think about protected areas, or well, that's what they're called. When you're flying in a place that's, how am I safe to be where I am? Because you can't see the ground, you have to rely on the controller a little bit, but you also need to find your own information, which is why they put all of this information at your fingertips. So you can find, okay, I'm here, so I can be 1,700 feet.
right,
And so if the controller said you can be, if they said descend altitude 1,200 feet, you go, no, I can't do that.
yeah.
Good. Go away. Good. He says, trying to pick a screen. What I might do is pick up some, get some more water because I've run out.
That's all right.
Yeah, just bring up maybe that holds. This looks very complicated, but I'll make it very easy for you. Let me just get some water. Well, I was about to say, do you want anything? But I don't think that would help.
Yeah,
I've got some brownies, but I don't think I can't really.
yeah, yeah. That's all right.
So what do you think holds are for? What's the point of a hold?
In case you have to like wait for something else to happen or someone else to happen.
Yeah.
You might be waiting for another plane to land, or if there's an emergency with one of the other planes, you have to give way and just hold off and let them land.
Perfect. Yep. Yeah, it's somewhere that you can go and wait. Um,
Yeah.
it's also somewhere that you can go and troubleshoot. So if the aircraft has a technical problem and you don't want to go too far away from an airport, you can enter a hold.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's somewhere that you can just go round and round in circles, and there's no stress.
No one's stopping you.
No, you can always hold. There's the controller will never say no to a hold because for them, you're out of the way. They don't need to do anything with you. But
Yeah.
there are three ways to enter a hold. Which unfortunately this picture shows you the French way, which is wrong. So I need to new share whiteboard. Yeah, it's been a while since we've done this one.
Yeah. Fun, fun, fun.
So a hold is always based on something.
Yep.
That something could be a GPS point, could be a VOR, could be an NDB, it could be literally anything, but it has to be based on something.
I agree.
And a hold has a few features.
Yep.
It is cheap. So you have this first leg, and it will always be flown towards whatever your thing is you're holding on.
Yeah.
Next feature is you can I just want to draw by a pen. And then you have a turn. Then you have another leg. And then we have another turn.
Right.
Yep, it's right turns. Very good.
Yep.
So, a few features which I have beautifully drawn into this is this first turn always finishes abeam the station. So the station being this thing.
Yeah.
And what I've not drawn very well is the turn will always start and finish in the same line.
Right.
So the bits between these two lines you have the navigation part of the hold, which is this bit going in towards the station.
Yep.
And then you have the timed section. So you're now thinking, yeah, great. Why do I care about this? So I'm getting to a point, I promise. The hold has a fun feature that it's always 4 minutes.
All full minutes.
It's always 4 minutes. So how many sections does this hold have?
3.
So, okay, can you label the 3?
Would be the left bit. Wait, no.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, bless you.
Oh,
Bless you again.
thank you. Look, that's enough of my sneezing.
Um, I'm not entirely sure.
Right, no worries. Luckily, I have one of these. So we have this part here, the navigation leg. Let's call that part 1.
Right.
Then we have this part, which is part 2. part 3, part 4.
Nah. Right. Okay.
Yeah, does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah. I just did it like the left one is 2, the right one is 3, and the middle one is just 1. Like the
Okay.
top and bottom, I just merged as 1.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. So, yeah, the top and bottom bits are very similar. So section 1. Actually, no. How can I ask you this question? If there are 4 parts to the hold, and the hold lasts 4 minutes, how long does each section last?
Wait, say that again.
So if the hold lasts 4 minutes
Yeah.
and there's 4 sections,
Yeah. 1
how
minute per
long?
section.
1 minute per section. Good. So the navigation part takes a minute. This takes a minute. This takes a minute, and so on. Do you remember something called a rate 1 turn?
Is it like a 15-degree turn or something? Something to do with the right.
It would be something
I don't know.
like that.
This might be a bit of a random, well, not random, but
Fire away.
unexpected question. But do you know how long we're doing this today for this lesson? Just out of curiosity, because my dad
Um,
didn't say much.
he didn't tell me how long he wants it. No, I was going
Oh,
to go from like an hour and.
that's all right. I don't really care. I'm just curious.
No, well, you tell me.
As long as we want.
If you're tired, then we can
No,
stop.
no,
Because that's been about an hour.
I'm just wondering. It's fine. We can do it in an hour and a half.
Well, if I'm being honest, um, my wife's
Or
on.
if you want,
My
we can
wife's
do an hour.
in London at the minute, so an hour would be quite nice because that means I can actually get to bed before 10.
Oh, that's fine. Yeah, if you want to do an hour, that's fine. Whatever. I don't mind.
Let's do an hour because
Yeah.
um, then I can because apparently I show the living room behind me. Where stop sharing.
All right.
This is covered in toys that I've got to clear all them up before I go to bed.
Yeah. Good luck.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, share. No.
Uh-oh.
Is it insert? Oh well. Luckily, that was. So, can you draw the hold on here?
Yeah, of course I can.
Yeah, you draw the
Right.
hold, and then we'll call it quits till next time because there's about another half an hour. At least I could talk about holds.
Okay, I'm gonna do it with an oval because my circle drawing skills aren't great. So we've got 1.
2.
Actually, no. We got 1. We got a 2. We got a 3. And we got a 4.
Perfect. And there's a beautiful Northern Irish accent as well. And
We've
how
got
long?
the.
Yeah.
Actually, I
And how
can't.
long does each section last for?
Well, the whole thing is 4
4
minutes.
minutes. Yep. Good.
So we've got 4 divided by 4 is equal to 1,
And let me
which
get my
is
calculator out. Yep.
equal. Actually, okay, 4 divided by 4 is equal to x. X is equal to 1, and section is equal. Section is equal
Yep.
to x. So that means that section is equal to x, which means that x is equal to 1. So that means each
No.
section is equal to 1.
Perfect. Good.
Quick
Beautiful.
algebra lesson. And then we've got the timed and the other thing as well.
Yep.
Uh,
So, where is the station, or where is the fix, or where is the thing that we're navigating towards in your beautiful picture?
it's 1, isn't it?
Yep. So it's the end of leg 1.
There. Something like that.
Nothing has appeared yet.
How is it? Still nothing? At the bottom.
Yeah. Sorry, I was looking. I went up the screen a bit, so I couldn't see it. Yep. So the end of leg 1. So about
Where would it be? There? I don't know.
here, this black squiggly bit I've just put
Okay.
in. So yeah, that's navigation. The top part is timed. Good. So we'll call that quits. When we come back, we'll continue talking about the hold. You should be an artist. You know, maybe
Oh, I know.
me and you should set up like an art school somewhere because I believe both of our artworks are phenomenal.
I'm just citing it just in case.
Good. Whoops, I've drawn on your
Oh,
picture. Oh no, I've ruined it.
just like that, it lost like £100 worth of
Oh,
value.
and I think it's £100 million. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, so I thought that said Darwin BS and then your signature.
No,
No.
no, drawn by, and then my
Ah,
signature.
no.
I had to make sure that people know it was by me,
Good.
just in
Yeah.
case they want to inquire about purchasing it.
Yeah, no, definitely. I'll if I have any buyers, I'll let you know.
Oh, okay, thank you.
Good, good. So yeah, when we come back, we'll talk about the hold. We need to talk about how we can get established, how we get ourselves into the hold, because there's three different ways.
Yep.
Yeah, there's a whole long mathematical equation about how the hold works, but no one has the brain space ever to know why that works. So you just need to know the four sections, what you need to do in each four section, and you'll be fine.
All right.
Cool. So I will say good night, even not even good
Good
evening.
eve. Yeah.
It feels like it's almost tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I need to tidy up the toys, tidy up the kitchen, clean my teeth, and go to bed.
Yeah. Good luck with that.
Yeah,
All of
thank you
it.
very much, and I will see you. I would. Do you know your availability at all this week? Okay,
I would say, unless Dad surprises me with something, I'd say I am free for this whole week, and I'm free for the whole of next week, except for, oh no, that's in the, well, on the 29th, after about 7, I can't do that.
Yep.
Uh, and then yeah, so that's it for the next 2 weeks. Just the 29th, nothing after 7.
Oh, good. So do you reckon
Oh,
on?
sorry, and I forgot about cadets. So I got Thursday,
So,
Monday, and Thursday
so
after.
does it still run on this Thursday, even though it's half term?
Yes, yes, it is.
Okay, because
Unfortunately,
I know the Scout World they don't run on half term weeks.
yeah, cadets does. It's
No,
great. So
no,
yeah, just any Monday or Thursday after about 5 doesn't really work,
no, yeah, fair enough.
unfortunately.
Um, Maybe we can do one on Thursday.
What time?
Maybe. So do you need? Do you leave at cadets at 5 or?
Well, I leave at about 6, 7-ish, but well, I can squeeze it in depending on
Okay.
the time.
So yeah, I
Uh,
could really do somewhere between four. Start between 4 and 5 on Thursday.
yeah, that's fine then. Yeah,
Yeah,
that should be fine.
good.
Just double check with Dad just in
Yeah,
case.
no, I'll send them a WhatsApp and
Yeah,
try to
that
put the
should be
time.
fine.
Yeah, I'll be back in Northern Ireland on Thursday, so I won't be at home, so I won't have a small person to look after, and I'll be free.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, have a good
All right
evening.
then.
I shall
Yep.
see you
You
probably on
too.
Thursday.
Have a fun time cleaning
Brilliant.
up and stuff.
I can't wait.
Yeah. All right. Bye
Right,
bye
see
then.
you. Bye.